Have you ever noticed that the more we try to force things to happen, the further life seems to move away from what we desire? It's like trying to hold water in our hands. The tighter we squeeze, the faster it escapes. Many people confuse manifesting with insisting, believing with forcing, desiring with clinging. But there is a silent, almost invisible difference between flow and struggle. In Buddhist teaching, this difference is essential. The Buddha said that suffering arises from attachment, and attachment is often the effort to want things to be our way, in our time. When we try to force abundance, we fail to realize that the very act of forcing already communicates a message to the universe. I don't trust yet. And where there is no trust, the energy of abundance cannot flow. True manifestation doesn't happen when we push life, but when we learn to breathe with it. It's the same principle that the wind teaches the leaves. They don't struggle to move. They just let themselves be led. So before thinking about how to manifest, perhaps the first step is to ask yourself, am I allowing or am I trying to control? Breathe for a moment and feel the weight of control dissolve. Because sometimes, all the universe waits for is for you to let go a little and trust the flow more. If this reflection has touched something within you, like this video and subscribe to continue this journey of wisdom and serenity. Because in the next few minutes, we'll discover why trying too hard may be silently blocking the abundance you so desperately seek. Chapter 2. The Root of Effort. Desire in Disguise. Sometimes, we believe we're just being dedicated, determined, chasing our dreams. But behind this effort lies something more subtle, a disguised desire, a silent fear of failure. Buddhism teaches that attachment arises from desire, and that desire, when driven by lack, creates suffering. It's not the desire itself that causes pain, but the belief that without it, we won't be complete. When you try to manifest something and feel anxiety, haste, or frustration that it hasn't happened yet, realize it's not the universe that's denying you. It's your own attachment that creates resistance. Because anxious desire vibrates with scarcity, and scarcity cannot attract fulfillment. Imagine a lotus flower. It grows in the mud, but never rushes to bloom. It trusts the rhythm of the sun, the moisture of the soil, the timing of the cosmos. It doesn't say, I need to open now. It simply is. And precisely for this reason, it opens at the perfect time. Neither before nor after. So too is abundance. It blossoms when we stop demanding and begin to trust. When the heart stops asking for haste and learns to rest in patience. Because the energy of the universe is sensitive. It responds more to serenity than to force. Sometimes, the greatest act of power is simply letting go. Letting go of trying to control and allowing the flow to reveal what's right in its own time. But what happens within us and around us when we insist on pushing life? In the next chapter, we'll understand the energetic effect of pushing too hard and how it, without realizing it, takes us away from what we most desire. Chapter 3. The energetic effect of pushing too hard. When we push too hard, something silently shifts within us and in the energy field around us. The vibration, which once flowed lightly and openly, begins to contract. The energy of trust gives way to tension, and the universe, which responds to the frequency of our feelings, begins to reflect this very resistance back. It's like trying to push a river against the current. The more we push, the more tired we become, and the less we move. Water, a symbol of flow in life, cannot be controlled. It can only be followed. Many believe that manifesting is about repeating positive phrases, visualizing, and desiring intensely. But if behind these practices there is anxiety, fear, or haste, the energy field senses this and shuts down. Because the universe doesn't respond to words. It responds to the vibration that comes from the heart. In Buddhism, there is an ancient teaching that says, "What you pursue flees from you. What you embrace draws near." And this is exactly what happens when we push too hard. By trying to push life, we send the message that we still don't trust it, that we need to control every outcome, every time, every form. And this need for control is the greatest thief of abundance. Abundance, after all, is movement. And movement doesn't mix with rigidity. It needs space to dance, lightness to manifest. When we relax, when we let the river flow, the energy begins to align again. Things flow again, as if an invisible door had opened. But there is a simple and deeply spiritual way to effortlessly get back into the flow of manifestation. Chapter 4: The Art of Manifesting Without Attachment. There is an ancient principle found in both Buddhist and Taoist traditions called wu-wei, which means acting without effort. It's not about not acting, but about acting in harmony with the flow of life. It's when doing arises from being, not from anxiety. It's the movement that arises from trust, not from need. Manifesting without attachment is exactly that. It's planting the seed of desire, watering it with faith, and then allowing time, the sun, and life to do the rest. It's understanding that the universe doesn't need to be convinced. It needs to be invited. And the invitation is made through serenity, not insistence. Buddhist masters often say that true faith is silent. It doesn't shout. It doesn't demand. It doesn't threaten time with deadlines. It simply trusts, because it knows that when energy is in harmony, what is yours comes without struggle. Think of a bamboo stick in the wind. It bends but doesn't break. It moves with life, and it is precisely this flexibility that gives it strength. So too is the heart when it learns to manifest. It opens, trusts, and flows. Attachment, on the other hand, is like a knot. The more we try to pull, the tighter it becomes. But when we let go, the knot naturally unties, and what once seemed stuck begins to move. Again, manifesting without attachment doesn't mean giving up on what you desire. It means allowing life to participate in the process, letting the universe bring what is best, even if it's different from what you imagined. Breathe deeply. Feel the difference between wanting and trusting, between asking and allowing, between wishing and flowing. Perhaps this is the secret so many people forget. The power of letting life happen, instead of trying to control it. But how can we practice this state of conscious surrender in our daily lives? In the next chapter, we'll explore simple and powerful Buddhist practices that help unblock the flow of abundance and restore inner confidence. Chapter 5: Buddhist Practices to Unblock the Flow of Abundance, Manifesting Without Forcing is an art, and like all art, it can be cultivated through daily practice. Buddhism teaches us that true transformation begins with a silent mind and a willing heart. There are no complex rituals or hidden secrets, just a subtle shift in how we relate to life. Here are 4 simple yet profoundly powerful practices to restore the flow of abundance. 1. Surrender meditation. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and breathe deeply as you inhale. Mentally say, "I trust." As you exhale, say, "I let go." Repeat for a few minutes, feeling your body relax and your mind open. This practice dissolves the energy of anxiety and invites the universe to act with you. This isn't a meditation about asking. It's a meditation about allowing. 2. Breathing of detachment during the day. Whenever you feel the urge to control something, stop for a moment. Inhale, imagining what you desire. A dream, a change, a new beginning. And as you exhale, imagine that desire being given to the wind, as if you trust it will know exactly where to land. This breathing teaches the body and soul that letting go isn't about losing. It's about making room for the new to enter. 3. The ritual of silent gratitude before bed. Silently give thanks for everything the day has brought, even the challenges. In Buddhism, gratitude is a form of purification. It clears stagnant energies and realigns the heart with the natural abundance of existence. The more you give thanks, the more you realize that abundance is already present, and the universe responds to this vibration. 4. Mindfulness of the now, a restless mind, is the greatest enemy of manifestation. It lives in the not yet, and this keeps it stuck in scarcity. Mindfulness invites us to return to the now, where life truly happens. When you sip a coffee, gaze at the sky, or feel the wind on your face with presence, you are realigning yourself with the flow of creation. These practices are not meant to attract something from outside, but to remind you of what already exists within you. When the heart is at peace, the universe finds space to act, and everything that once seemed distant begins to naturally draw closer. But there is something even deeper behind all this, a state of consciousness that distinguishes those who truly manifest from those who merely wish. Chapter 6. The Secret of the Awakened Manifester. The true manifester does not seek, he becomes. This is the essential difference between those who pursue abundance and those who live in harmony with it. In Buddhist teachings, everything we experience in the external world is merely a reflection of what we cultivate within ourselves. If there is fear, the world seems uncertain. If there is serenity, the world opens up in trust. The awakened manifester understands that the universe does not need to be convinced. It needs to be mirrored. When you vibrate with love, life responds with love. When you vibrate with gratitude, the universe multiplies reasons to be grateful. It is an energetic, silent and perfect law. But this attunement is only possible when we stop identifying with lack, as long as we believe that we must have in order to then be happy. The flow remains blocked. The energy of abundance is not born of desire. It is born of recognition. It begins when you realize that you are already whole, even before you receive. The masters often say, "What you seek, you already seek." When you come into harmony with what you desire, be it prosperity, health, love, or peace, life naturally begins to conspire in your favor. Not because you asked forcefully, but because you vibrated clearly. Being an awakened manifester means abandoning the posture of one who begs and adopting that of one who trusts. It means living with presence, with an open heart, and understanding that each step taken with awareness is a form of prayer. Manifestation then ceases to be a technique and becomes a way of being. And perhaps the greatest strength lies not in pushing, but in allowing, not in chasing, but in aligning. Chapter 7. The Abundance That Comes. When we stop struggling, abundance is not a race to be won, nor a prize to be won. It is a state of harmony, a silent point within us where life and spirit finally meet. When we stop struggling, the universe breathes a sigh of relief. When we let go of control, the flow begins to move again. And when we trust, life, grateful for our surrender, begins to surprise us. Ancient Buddhist masters said that abundance is like the wind. It cannot be grasped, but can be felt when we are open. It requires no effort, only presence. And it is in this presence, calm, lucid, loving, that life reveals itself generously. Perhaps the secret has never been to do more, but to be more aware of what already is. Because the true miracle lies not in attracting what we want, but in recognizing that we are already part of a universe that sustains us at every moment. With every breath, with every sunrise, with every encounter that teaches us something. So, If at this moment in your life you feel like you've been trying too hard, perhaps the universe's invitation is simple. Stop for a moment. Breathe. Trust. Abundance doesn't come when you chase it. It blossoms when you finally stop to receive it. And you? Do you feel like you're trying too hard in some area of your life? Maybe this is the time to let the river flow and allow life to show you that effort was never the way. Surrender was. If this reflection touched your heart, like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear this message today. And if you want to continue this journey of wisdom, watch the video now on the screen. See you there, with serenity, with gratitude, and with a light heart, ready for the flow of life.